Hey, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. As I sit here and get ready for my first gig at a convention in over a year and a half, almost 2 years, because there was several months before COVID. We all got shut down 2 weeks before I was supposed to do Lexington Comic Con, which is that and Scarefest are my two favorite shows to do. I had another movie planned this week, and I was reading an article on Bloody Disgusting, which is a horror website that I recommend. I've read it for years. The article is written by Matt Donato. We're going to talk briefly about remakes. Well, one of my favorite movies of all time is John Carpenter's The Thing. So, yeah, you can do a remake. You just have to do something different. So, I'm going to defend something that I haven't really talked about on here. I've talked about it on Bonehead. And it's Fede Alvarez's 2013 remake of The Evil Dead. His article that I was just talking about from Bloody Disgusting defends it and says it's probably one of the best horror films made in the last decade. And you know what? I completely agree. The remake of The Evil Dead is one of the best horror films made in the last decade. It's damn sure one of the bloodiest and most violent and balls to the wall horror. It's different though. And Fede, the director, even said himself, back in the day, in his day, he's about the same age as me. When we were watching it, and you probably some of you all too in the 80s, they wouldn't have called this a remake, it had just been a sequel. Right? Evil Dead 2 is kind of a remake of the first Evil Dead, but they still called it a sequel. You see the Oldsmobile, you see many, many references to the other movie of Ash. It doesn't take away from any of that. When I first heard that they're going to make a remake of this movie, I threw my hands in the air. I was so mad because Sam Raimi's my favorite director, and the Evil Dead means so much to me. I saw Army of Darkness and then went back to find those movies when I was 12, 13. And back in the day, you had to hunt hard to find things, especially in Eastern Kentucky in a holler. So when they said they're going to make a remake, I was pissed. And then I started seeing trailers and stills, and I thought, well, this looks pretty good. And then I saw it, of course, opening weekend, and I said, that's one of the best remakes I've ever seen. Is it as good as John Carpenter's The Thing, which is a remake of The Thing from Another World? No. This is dark. This is dark and sinister. And most of the effects are practical. The only CGI that was used for this is later just to sweeten things and remove things and make things a little bit better. They used over 70,000 gallons of blood for this movie. 50,000 gallons of it's just for the ending. And if you've ever seen it, you know what I mean. They shot 95% of this movie in sequence. And the reason they did that is because of the blood. Most movies, if you don't know this, are made out of sequence. They shoot the ending here and this here, and people are coming in. This movie was shot 95% in sequence as it happens. And the reason you do that is for continuity. If you bloody up this room, but you have to shoot when they walked into it 2 weeks later, well, that you got to clean it. And no, they shot in sequence. It's a little more time consuming, and I can't say enough about it. Richard Roper, the critic, when it came out, I couldn't believe this, gave it 1 star and said it was just gore, torture porn. Actually, this came out towards the end of torture porn, and it came out the same year as The Conjuring. And The Conjuring gave us a whole Conjuring universe, right? From Annabelle and all those other films. Evil Dead didn't. We didn't get the sequel to it that I hoped we would. We ended up getting Ash vs. Evil Dead from Stars, those 3 seasons. I enjoyed those, but it's different. This Evil Dead movie is dark and mean. It's mean, and I love it. So if you have never seen it and you like shit on sequels and most of the time, or shit on remakes, and most of the time I agree with you. I don't feel that way at all about the Evil Dead remake by Fede Alvarez. So if you've never seen it, do me a favor, check it out. Also, if you're at the con I'm going to be at, just come up and say hi. I'm going to have some Bonehead stickers. I'm happy to be out. I'm a little hoarse tonight for some odd reason. Of course, I would be right before I start back to work, but I'm happy to be out, and I'm excited to see you all. I'm really excited to see you all in September. Or October. Sorry. What is today? This has been Joe Lewis, Bonehead Weekly.